Assault rifles with most aura. That's what we're talking about today, guys. Now, before some of you guys come at me in the comment section saying the assault rifle is a made-up term or the assault rifle does not exist, let me clarify this, guys. That assault rifle is not a made-up term. It is a legitimate term, and Gun Jesus himself has clarified it time and time again. But let me just clarify it one more time. Assault rifle is recognized by most of the modern militaries. Germans coined this term for the first time during World War II with their STG-44. STG stands for Sturmgewehr, and Sturmgewehr literally means an assault rifle. So there was an assault rifle even in World War II. The first assault rifle, basically. And then we have the French FAMAS, the service rifle of the French army. The FAMAS has the word assault in its name. So yeah, that's also an assault rifle. So the whole idea that assault rifles are a made-up term, it does not exist. It's false. Assault rifles are real. So what is an assault rifle? What classifies an assault rifle? There are three criteria a rifle needs to fulfill to be classified as an assault rifle. First one is it should be select fire, meaning it should be able to fire semi-auto or burst maybe sometimes, and then it should have a detachable magazine. That's the second point. It should have a 20 round, 30 round, or even a 40 round detachable magazine. And then the last point would be that it should be able to fire an intermediate cartridge. What is an intermediate cartridge? An intermediate cartridge is a round that fulfills, that falls between a pistol caliber and a rifle caliber. So a pistol caliber would be 9x18 Makarov, 9x19, and then a rifle caliber would be, a full-powered rifle caliber would be 7.62x51, 303 British, 30-06, 7.62x54 rimmed. These are some rifle calibers. An intermediate caliber falls right between them. And an example of an intermediate caliber would be the 7.62x39 that the AK fires, the 5.45x39, the AK-74 round, and then 5.56, the 5.56 NATO. These are some intermediate calibers. Now, full disclosure, who am I? Guys, I'm just a regular civilian who has no access to firearms. I live in a country where getting access to a firearm is almost impossible for a civilian. So I have never ever touched any of these rifles that I'm going to mention in this video. How do I know about them? I just played a lot of Call of Duty when I was a kid, especially Modern Warfare 2. And then I watched all those old Discovery Channel and History Channel videos on weapons. Not videos. Those History Channel, Discovery Channel programs on TV shows on weapons and military stuff. And then finally, as I grew up, I discovered gun YouTube, especially Forgotten Weapons, guys. I watched too much Forgotten Weapons. So yeah, that's my qualification, guys. Also, one more thing to add to it is that I live in a region which is considered one of the most militarized zones on the planet. So ever since I was a kid, I have been surrounded by guns, but haven't been able to touch any of them. There is literally military right outside my house right now. And yeah, I see firearms all the time. Ever since I was a kid, I grew up seeing firearms. So without any further delay, let's get straight into the video. And the first weapon we have on the list is the G36. G36, guys. The Gewehr 36. It's from Germany. It's black. It looks mean, guys. This gun is really a great gun, and I think it's going to rank high on the tier list. A little bit background about the G36. G36 was one of the last 5.56 caliber guns adopted by a NATO country. Germany adopted it, I guess, only in the early 90s. While most of the NATO countries had already adopted a 5.56 gun, Germany was, I guess, the last country to adopt a 5.56 rifle. Before that, they were using the G3, a full-powered battle rifle. So yeah, due to being one of the last 5.56 guns to be adopted, Germany had a long time to refine. They could look at the previous examples of previous countries, such as the FAMAS, the LAD-5, and then refine their 5.5 gun a little bit more. Even the M4, they must have taken a look at. That's why I think the G36 turned out to be such a refined AR. It is, guys, it's just a beauty. Look at it, guys. is one of my favorite looking guns. Even the older version of the G36 with that bigger carry handle, even that looked phenomenal. The newer ones, guys, the short end carry handle. Oh my god, guys, I just love it. I would love to fire it one day. And yeah, in the early 2010s, this gun did get some crap thrown at it because people said that it's all polymer and it melts. Guys, I think it's really high quality polymer. It's made by HK. It's not some random, poor quality polymer. India, I'm looking at you. So yeah, I think it was a hoax and people tried to throw shit at the gun. But yeah, the gun it never, after trials that HK did, when they got, told that your gun is trash, it melts in the heat. HK did some trials and nothing of that sort happened. So yeah, the G36 worked perfectly fine. How high is the G36 gonna rank? Guys, I think I'm gonna put the G36 in really high aura. Yeah, the gun carries really high aura, guys. I'm gonna put it in really high aura. And yeah, that's it with the G36. Next up, after the G36, we have the L85, also known as SA80 sometimes. It is the British service rifle, and UK hasn't replaced it yet. It is generally considered one of the worst service rifles to be adopted ever by a country. That immediately takes some aura points from your stats. Immediately some aura points got minused when I said that. Subtracted, I'm sorry. This gun, the L85, it doesn't look that bad, although it is an ugly gun. Objectively, it is an ugly gun. The problem is not its looks. The first variants of the L85, when they got adopted in the 80s, they jammed so frequently that the British Army started calling them the public servant. The public servant, that's a funny name. So the gun carries a bad reputation with itself. And thus, only after when HK jumped in and HK helped the UK to refine the gun with the A1 or the A2 variants, the gun finally got back on track. And eventually now, when the British had it in Afghanistan and other countries, it performed really well. But by the time it was too late, guys, the damage had already been done. In the 80s, it was known throughout NATO as the worst service rifle ever. Any country that UK went on, an exercise with, they said, "What a trash rifle you guys are running around with." So, yeah, I guess that will even the newer variants will not fix the damage. So, or even if you talk about the looks, it doesn't look that good, guys. Compared to the G36, it does not look good. So we're gonna put the L85 in no aura, guys. It does not have an aura. I'm so sorry, guys. The L85 gets it. No aura. Yeah. So let's move on, guys. Next up, we have the M4. Any FPS video game without the M4 is incomplete. That already adds points to its aura stats. M4 is such an iconic gun, guys. We all have seen M4, and even the people who are not in the gun community recognize the gun, at least the black gun with a huge triangle in the front. So even the M16 is like that, but M4 gets recognized more throughout especially our generation, the 2000s kids. We grew up seeing the M4 so much. It was everywhere. It looks good. It is modular, guys. It is one of the first modular guns. Like, you can turn this thing into anything. You can put so many attachments on it. You can convert it into a different type of rifle. You can do whatever you want to do with an M4. It is basically the Swiss Army knife of guns. There is an idea that M4 is not that powerful. That's maybe because it's a direct impingement operated. So basically a direct impingement method is when the gas from the traveling bullet directly goes into the chamber through a tube above the barrel of the gun. So I guess maybe because of that, it has, an aura that it is not that very powerful. So Maybe it is a gun. It'll kill you guys, but there is something about the M4 that just makes it look weak. But other than that, it's a great gun. We all love it. We all have seen it ever since we were kids in every video game possible. So yeah, I'm gonna put the M4 in rad. Yeah, rad is an outdated word, but I'm still gonna use it, guys. I like this word. Let's bring rad back into our vocabulary. So yeah, M4 is gonna get rad. That sounded weird. I mean, M4 is gonna fall in the rad category. The AK-74, guys. AK-74. What a gun. You guys cannot change my mind. I believe the AK-74 is the most handsome looking gun ever made. Especially the original AK-74s with the wood furniture. Guys, there's no way any gun is competing in aesthetics. Any assault rifle is competing in aesthetics with the AK-74. It just looks amazing, guys. It is an AK, but an upgrade in every department, maybe except for the caliber, and the caliber is less powerful. But it just looks amazing, guys. Especially with that long muzzle brake that is added onto it. I know you can add that muzzle brake on an AK as well, but it just looks amazing with that. And the wood furniture, even the newer ones, the AK-74M. You look like you have the AK-74 with the wood furniture. You look like a classic G. But if you have the AK-74 with the M variant with the polymer black furniture, you look like a psycho Chechen fighter, and who fights MMA, who is in the UFC. But yeah, it's an amazing looking gun. It's an AK. It will run through anything. Super reliable, guys. It's a Kalashnikov, guys. You don't need to even comment on the reliability of a Kalashnikov. So yeah, personally, my personal favorite, I could be a little biased here, but my personal favorite assault rifle of all time, the AK-74. You want to in the modern era, it can become as modular as the M4 as well. If you add all those Zenitco furniture parts onto it, the Picatinny rail, the dust cover, and everything. Even the side-mounted optic is amazing on this gun. It looks amazing. I think there is no competition for the AK-74. It just looks amazing, guys. And it's a shame that a lot of people outside the gun community don't know about the AK-74. People think that it is an AK-47. It is not, guys. It is chambered in 5.56 by 39. I'm so sorry. 5.56. It is chambered in 5.45 by 39. So yeah. I do believe that AK-74 is an amazing gun. And yeah, for that, I'm going to put it in Max Aura, guys. Max Aura for the AK-74. Change my mind, you cannot. AK-74 is objectively the best looking gun out there. Assault rifle, at least. Next up, the M16. What do I have to say about the M16, guys? Vietnam War. Super advanced and futuristic looking for its era. Like, think about it, guys. People running around in Vietnam with old AKs, and some guy has an M16. It just looks, the look that the M16 carried back in the Vietnam War with itself. I guess that must have been really intimidating for the Viet Cong. But then the earlier M4s, the M16s, I'm so sorry. The earlier versions of the M16 also got a bad reputation, just like the L85. A lot of US soldiers said that it jammed, it was not reliable. And then a lot of refining had to be done to turn it into a very good gun. The last variant of the M16, the M16A4, is considered a really phenomenal gun. And I guess it's a weird thing when all the T-band guys are running around with the M16s that we grew up seeing US Army guys running around with in Afghanistan. So yeah, M16 is, I guess, a decent gun. It's not as high as the AK-74, although AK-74 and M16 were direct competitors. I would still put the M16 in the okay category. Its successor, the M4, was definitely rad compared to the M16. M16 is gonna go in the okay category, guys. All right. Next up, after the M16, we have the AKM, guys. The most prolific assault rifle ever, the AKM. If anyone of you in the comment section says it was the AK-47, guys, it's AK-47s are only seen in museums nowadays. It's really rare to find a true original AK-47 on field in a battlefield these days, because they were just created such a long time ago. AKMs were more refined. AKMs were the variant that got sold all over the world, and everybody wanted an AKM. So yeah, it is 90% of the times if you see an AK on the battlefield, it is an AKM, the most prolific assault rifle ever made. You can also, there's a way to spot the difference between an AK-47 and AKM. An AK-47 will have a milled receiver, whereas the AKM has a stamped sheet metal receiver. That's the technical terms. I don't think so. You can anyone can spot it with the naked eye. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. I'm not that big of a, I'm not that big on, how to identify guns. I just like guns. All right. So yeah, AKM, guys. It's a Kalashnikov, most prolific Kalashnikov ever. But do I think it is better than its successor, the AK-74? Is the AKM better than the AK-74? I think the caliber makes it more powerful. Yes, the caliber does make it more powerful. But the recoil handling of the AK-74, because of the smaller caliber, is just it's far more easier to train on and control. AKMs, I guess you need a little bit more training to master. Anyways, I would put the AKM not as high as the AK-74. Guys outside the gun community must be like screaming at me right now. How can you not put the AKM in max aura? High aura, guys, high aura. Definitely higher than the G36. It has got an even higher aura than the G36. You see a guy with an AKM, alright guys, that's a little scary. Okay, the STG-44. First assault rifle ever in history. Created by Germans, the bad Germans. In World War II, Sturmgewehr 44 literally means assault rifle. Does it have aura? Compared to modern assault rifles, guys, I don't think so. It has a lot of aura. Looks wise, modern assault rifles do have an aura, especially the black ones. If the Germans would have invented it a little earlier in World War II, they might have been able to win far more battles than they lost. So where do I put the STG-44? I'm going to put it in rad with the M4. I think I'm going to put it higher than the M4 in the rad category, because yeah, it's just the first assault rifle ever created, guys. So yeah, that's the STG. SCAR-L. What a beautiful looking gun. It looks amazing, but it just lost to its bigger brother, the SCAR-H. It's also called the SCAR-16 sometimes, and its bigger brother is called SCAR-17. But it lost to its bigger brother. Its bigger brother just proved to be a better thing. The bigger caliber, its bigger brother is a battle rifle, not an assault rifle. It was geared towards, it literally stands for Special Forces Combat Assault Rifle, SCAR. It was geared towards the Special Forces. FN tried to sell it to the US Special Forces, and they did buy I guess a few thousand of these SCARs, but in the end they chose the SCAR-H over the SCAR-L, because I guess again they needed more power. If they were adopting a very expensive modular rifle, they said let's go with the higher caliber, not with this smaller caliber that we already have with the M4. And M4 was working perfectly fine back then, so they did not adopt the SCAR. Its original variants had a reciprocating charging handle, which made it, you should not have, as a modern gun, you should not have a reciprocating charging handle, because you shoot a lot in cramped spaces and all, and you don't want your charging handle to be caught in, anywhere, on your gear, on anything. So modern assault rifles should not have a reciprocating charging handle, although AKs do have a reciprocating charging handle. But they just have their Kalashnikovs. But yeah, SCAR is a good gun. It is reliable. It works fine. I think it did not perform well in Grand Thumb's ice test video. But still, because it looks nice, I'm going to put it in okay. It's going to be below M16. The black M16 is far more scarier. Then after that, we have the FAMAS, the French assault rifle. It looks kind of like it's from Halo. It's a good looking gun. I'm gonna give it that. It's a good looking gun. I really like anything the French do. They make it good looking. It has that huge carry handle on top of that. I don't think so. It's gonna rank that high. It's just a bullpup gun, guys. It's just a bullpup gun, 5.56. It has a weird operating mechanism. It's called lever delayed blowback. It uses levers to delay the blowback. Like the HK guns, like the HK G3 uses a roller. It uses levers. I don't know. It just makes it more complicated. So we're gonna put the FAMAS in. I don't think so. It makes it complicated, but I don't know. It's just weird. The FAMAS is weird. I'm gonna put it in OK. It's gonna rank up, I guess, higher than the SCAR because of the looks. SIG 550. It is sometimes also called the Rolex of the AKs. It is an AK on the inside. Uses the same long stroke gas operated piston system, but it's Swiss made, guys. What else do I have to say about it? It's Swiss made. I guess 9-hole Reviews did a video on the SIG 550 and it performed phenomenal in it. It's so accurate for a 5.56 gun, even on longer ranges where most of the 5.56 guns lose their accuracy. This gun just shoots lasers, guys. Quality is amazing, well made. I'm gonna give the SIG 550, SG 550, high aura. High aura, guys, high aura. It's definitely higher than the... no. I don't think so. It's higher than the G36. G36 is just one of the best looking guns, guys. So the SIG 550 goes in high aura. I think that's fair for the SIG 550. Phenomenal gun, guys. I would love to shoot it one day. Next up, we have the FNFNC, guys. Obscure gun these days. I don't think so. A lot of people even in the gun community, people forget about the FNFNC. It was one of the best guns FN made. Refined. Worked amazing. It is also basically a long stroke or gas operated gun. Has a long stroke piston. It even has a move in dust cover. The dust cover goes back into its original position once the reciprocating charging handle has cycled. So yeah, it is a good looking gun. It was also in that movie Heat, in that cool shootout scene. Sweden, I guess, has adopted it. Sweden has a variant of it called the AK5. That one looks good. The green furniture that Sweden has put on it looks good. Belgium, where FN is from, Belgian army used the FNFNC for some time, but now I think they use the SCAR. So yeah, I think the FNFNC, decent gun. I'm gonna put it in rad category, guys. It's gonna go in rad. Definitely lower than the M4. Now we have the AR-18. Irish music playing. Come out, you blackened. I'm not gonna sing that song, guys. IRA used it, guys. The Irish militia that was fighting against the British Army and during the Troubles. It is, if you don't know, I guess 5 guns that I've already mentioned on the list, or 3 or 4 guns I've already mentioned on the list, are basically an AR-18 on the inside. The AR-18 uses a firing system called the short stroke gas operated system. A lot of the modern guns just copied that system and added a different type of furniture on it and called it a day. L85 is an AR-15 on the inside. The G36 is not an AR-15, I'm so sorry. An AR-18 on the inside. The G36 is an AR-18. What else is an AR-18 on this side? The SCAR L is an AR-18, guys. Yeah, it's all of these guns are an AR-18. The sad part is the AR-18 did not get that popular outside Ireland and some obscure military operations. No country adopted it. So it faded into obscurity, but its legacy just lives on. Most of the assault rifles these days use the AR-18 system. So yeah, that I would say just makes the AR-18 a really cool gun. And it has a lot of history, especially with the Irish Troubles and everything. So I think I would put the AR-18 in the rad category. Yeah, AR-18 also goes into rad category. It would have been, definitely it would go in the high aura category if I think some countries might have adopted it. But yeah, For now, I think I'm just gonna put it in rad category. The AUG. AUG, guys. Where do I put the AUG? I don't think so. It's a good looking gun. It has been adopted by quite a few countries. Austria, the guys who created it, they have adopted it. Ireland adopted it. And Australia adopted it. Quite a few countries have adopted the AUG, but there are a few problems with it that I see. I think it's just too much polymer compared to most of the guns. G36 is also polymer, but AUG is just too much polymer, guys. I don't like the feel of too much polymer. I think I'm gonna annoy a lot of people here because AUG has one of the biggest firearm fan bases out there. But I think, yeah, AUG, too much polymer. Even the hammer, guys, inside is polymer. The hammer that strikes the firing pin. I don't think so that should be polymer. I just think even if the polymer is super high quality, I think it should be metal. The hammer, at least, that strikes the firing pin should be metal. What else do I have to say about it? It's an AR-18 configured in a bullpup format. So the AUG goes... I would put the AUG in okay. Higher than the SCAR because of its popularity. Yeah, it's gonna go in okay. Higher than the SCAR. Finally, we have the HK416, guys. Loved by most high-speed Tier 1 operators all over the world. It is the M4. M4 was already rad, but if you improve the M4 even more, what does it become, guys? It replaces the direct impingement system of the M4 with a short stroke gas piston system. Again, derived from the AR-15, but this gun has become so popular in the recent years because it is as modular as the M4. The only problem with the M4 was that it was considered sometimes it might not be as reliable because of the direct impingement system. The HK416 just made it reliable in every type of environment. It just runs in every type of environment. It's super high quality, made by HK. So you know that the quality is not compromised at all in the HK416. Everybody just loves the HK416. Most of the special forces units all over the world are adopting the HK416. Most of them have adopted the HK416. A high-speed operator with an HK416, fully kitted out with all the attachments added, that magnifier and everything. The HK416 easily goes up with the AK-74, and I'm gonna put the HK416 in high. Max Sora, guys, Max Sora for the HK416. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I have to say. That is the tier list I've created. You don't take anything that I said here seriously. I don't know much about guns. I just watch a lot of Forgotten Weapons. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I create a lot of YouTube shorts as well. Go check out my YouTube shorts if you like this video. Also, this video was inspired by a guy named Ethan on Everything. This guy makes amazing tier lists, far better tier lists than me. I was just inspired by watching his videos and thought, let's do a tier list video on assault rifles, guys. So yeah, that's all. Go check out his channel as well. Go check out my YouTube shorts. That's all I have to say, guys. Thanks for watching, guys.